Yeah, good, good. And you?
Yeah, I'm also good.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, Mr. Aminder.
Good evening, Mr. Nimesh. Good evening.
Good evening.
There was a small problem in logging in for one of our lecturers. So I
Okay.
was coordinating with him.
Okay.
Now he's fine. He'll be joining.
Okay, sure. At the moment, how many persons just joined for session?
I'm not sure. I can't see how many members are logged in.
Okay. So we'll wait for a while, no?
Yeah, we can wait for a while.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Revati, can you hear me?
Yes, Nimish, I can hear you.
Now, one of the clients from the university just logged in with us. His name is Mr. Daminder.
Okay.
Mr. Daminder?
Yes.
Hello,
hi.
Mr. Damin.
Mr.
Hi,
Daminder.
hi, Revati.
Davinder. So, Mr. Daminder, so Revati is the sales manager under Revati. Why don't you introduce yourself and your role?
My colleagues. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Hi all, I'm Revati. I'm from Numerical Analytics Instruments Private Limited, and we have my colleagues Vasantilan from Chennai, and we have two of my colleagues from Delhi, Saurav and Tasib. Saurav is the speaker today. He is handling NVivo for past 7 years and well trained in giving training on NVivo and other softwares to all our customers. Nice to have you all for the session today. Hope we will be doing, giving you a better knowledge about the software. Saurav?
Hello, hi, Saurav here. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Saurav.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Hope you are all doing well and fine during this COVID situation. So, how is it in Sri Lanka? Everything closed still or still working from home?
All the things are getting back to normal now, Mr. Daminder.
Yes, yes.
Saurav, I think it's best to let's wait for a while because another few persons will join with us from the university.
Okay, sure. That's not a problem.
So I think that's better now, Mr. Daminder.
Yes. Saurav, can you see how many members have joined from our university? I think Shamil sir has joined.
Miss, just a minute, sir. Mr. Damendra.
Yeah, Mr. Daminda, Mr. Mohit Shamil,
Okay.
Mrs. Renuka, Shashikala, and Tushara.
All right. Tushara.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see
Are there more members to join now? Still, we are waiting for some more members.
Shamil sir, can we start our meeting?
Yes, no?
Okay.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Shamil.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. So, little introduction from my end. I'm Nimesh. So, our company called Data Kolanka Private Limited. So, we're in the IT business for more than 8.5 years. So, our overall process is to provide IT solution and services to both private and government sectors. So, we are working with a couple of universities, your university as well. So, now today the distributor for NVivo to India and Sri Lanka has joined with us. They call Numeric Analysis Instruments Private Limited. So Saurav will be the person who conducting the interview, the webinar, sir. So you can ask whatever the questions, the things you want to know. You can gather all the details from him.
Sure.
Okay, Saurav, then shall we start the session?
Sure. Thanks, Nimesh, for the introduction.
Okay, no worries.
So I will start with the presentation now. So just give me a few minutes to share my screen. Just give me that. So are you can you view my screen now?
Yes.
Great. So let me start with the brief presentation of my company. Then I will move towards the demonstration of the software. Right. So this is today's agenda. So I will start with a brief company profile, and then I will introduce the NVivo software and just highlight a few features of NVivo during the presentation. Then I will directly move toward the software and give a brief, maybe like a brief discussion about the tools and features which are available in NVivo for qualitative research. Okay, we are Numerical Analytic Instruments Private Limited. We are around 12-year-old company, and we were set up in 2008 to specifically address numerical analytics demand in market. So apart from NVivo, which is a qualitative search software, we are also distributors for econometric search softwares. We are distributor for Smart PLS, which is for structural equation modeling, distributors for TIBCO Statistica and TIBCO Spotfire, which is data visualization software. And we are also dealing with Texas Instruments, right? So this is the overview of our company. So numerical analytics is a part of a Malaysian concern, which is basically Malaysia. Apart from India, we have countries like Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia, obviously. So So these are partners in for these companies we are distributing in India. Texas Instruments, as I said, this is for the education division of Texas Instruments, where we provide education technology to different verticals, like in finance for IB schools, graphing calculators for IB schools, finance SCFA students. We provide financial calculators. eViews is an econometric solution for time series, basically for time series analysis, and NVivo for as I said, qualitative search, which will be the topic today. And then we are also distributors for Smart PLS, which is used for structural equation modeling, and a very good software as compared with the SPSS MOS. These are some of our clients in India. These are just a brief, just to tell you basic idea. We are into academics, we are into NGOs, we are into corporates. So we cover all the industry in the market right now. And so now I will jump about NVivo. NVivo is a product of a company QSR. So they are the #1 global provider for qualitative data analysis software. They have like 1.5 million plus software users right now, and they have been to market since 30 years. So they started in around 1980s with though the name was different, it was called New Disk at that time. Now they have rebranded it to NVivo. They started with different versions. NVivo 12 was the last version. Now they have rebranded to NVivo only. So NVivo is the #1 most cited QDA software. So in fact, it is 157% more cited than any other QDA solutions right now. And around 9,548 journals have been published that reference the use of NVivo. So NVivo has many usages. It is used for literature review, for thematic analysis, and while doing so, we do different queries to explore our data. We can definitely compare our data with other researchers, compare our coding with different researchers, and we can do reporting also in NVivo. Just to give you a brief idea what we can do in NVivo. So when we talk about a qualitative search process, you can see this is the process which we usually follow whenever we are doing qualitative search. And whenever we talk about qualitative search, humongous data comes in mind, right? A lot of unstructured data is there, and analyzing and managing that data itself is a huge task. So, so first we collect. So this is the qualitative search process: collect data. If it's an audio or a video data, we transcribe it, and then we need to manage the data. As I said, managing data is a very difficult task. Then we analyze the data, visualize data, and collaborate and publish. This is how we do a qualitative search process. So in each of the steps, NVivo helps a qualitative search very efficiently. So for when we are collecting data, we have now NVivo integration directly with Word, Excel, and Outlook. So if you're working on an Excel file, Word file, you can directly, from the Excel or Word file, you can directly send that file directly to NVivo itself very easily. There's an NVivo transcription service provided by NVivo, which transcribes in around 28 languages. So though it transcribes in English and other international languages, I don't think it transcribes in maybe in your language. And then NVivo Desktop is the software which we'll be showing today. So all these services are built around that this software. And then NVivo Collaboration is again So if you are different researchers working together on a single project, you can collaborate with the researchers, though even though they are located geographically at different locations, you can collaborate your projects using NVivo collaboration server. And then there are different enhance and referencing and visualization techniques in NVivo. So all these things are available with NVivo now. And the main USP or main, I will say, the efficiency of NVivo is it can handle all kinds of data. So whatever data you may be working with, it will not stop you or hinder you in any way. So you can bring in all kinds of text data, audio, video data. Even if you're working with bibliographical softwares like Zotero, Mendeley, you can directly, there's a direct compatibility with these software. You bring in data directly. Even SPSS, you can even export your data. If you have created some tables, you can export your data to SPSS directly. So all these things you can do that in NVivo. These are some of the visualization techniques which I will show during our demonstration today. So we can create models, you can create charts, you can do cluster analysis in NVivo. And as I said, these are the new services which has come up with the launch of the latest version, which was launched in on March 18th, 2020. So these are there's the collaboration cloud which has come up along with NVivo collaboration server, and a standalone obviously is there. So now what I will do is I will just start the software now, and just a minute. So this is the latest version of NVivo, and this is the welcome screen of NVivo, right? So what I will do today is I will take you inside NVivo using a certain data set which I already have. This data set is a data which was collected during a project which was done in USA, down coast East USA, regarding environmental changes. So I will just show you the data first. So in this data, several people were interviewed. So there are some interview transcripts of different persons, right? So these are all MS Doc files. So these are the persons who were interviewed. I will just open this interview for you. So Barbara is the one who's being interviewed here, and just let me show you a file. So this is one of the interviews. So this is a qualitative research looks like. Like there's no yes and no answers. Then there is a subjective answers. That's when we need such kind of tools for qualitative search, right? So you can see Barbara is answering in long paragraphs. So this is one of the interview files, and then I have audio file also. This is the interview or audio interview, and then I have certain PDF files. So I will try to bring in these files together, images also. So and certain data sets also, like in surveys. So some Excel files also. All right. So these are all the data which we usually work with when doing qualitative search. And during my demonstration, I will also show you how to import data from social networking sites directly. So you can right now, like many people are doing analysis on the social networking data. So you can directly import data from, say, Twitter, from Facebook, from YouTube directly, and bring it inside NVivo and do certain analysis on that data also. So I won't take much of your time, and we'll just start directly with the software now. So as I said, this is the welcome screen. Once you open this software, this is the screen which you will get in front of you. So for starting a new project, I just need to click on this. I'm just creating a new project. I'm naming it as NVivo Sri Lanka. I click. So this project title, naming a project is mandatory. So here you can see where it is being saved right now. So you can always change the location if you want to. Giving the description is if you want to give the description of the project, you can give it here. So I just say it's a demo. So if you can put in more information if you want to. And as I said, NVivo understands these many languages right now. If you can see, if you're working in these languages, you can directly bring it inside NVivo, and NVivo will understand these languages. So you will get to know what I mean by understand, but these are the languages right now: Chinese, English, French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, Spanish, right? All these languages we can work on in NVivo. And these are certain project settings which we can change from here. So this is the auto save option. So if you can ask the software to auto save your project regularly, so it will display reminders after 50 minutes whether you want to save it or not. You can even create recovery files every 30 minutes and all these things. So this is your recovery file location. So I'm just creating the project now. So this is a tour which comes every time you open NVivo. If you want to go through the tour and understand NVivo features, it will help you out. So just skipping it right now. So this is the interface of NVivo, right? So on the left-hand side, you can see this is a navigation panel. And if you any data which you bring from outside will come under files. You can do coding under, you can save your coding under codings and all these things. So this is all navigation panel. You can move from one folder to other folder very easily. This is the ribbon menu on the top, so you can like go to different options available in these menu. And on the so once I open any file, it will open. So say I put in some files in this folder, it will open in the second panel here, and there will be a third panel which is the discussion panel. I will just show you once I bring in the data inside NVivo. So let me just start by bringing in data first, right? So as today we are doing a demonstration of NVivo. I just want to be more organized so that you understand everything properly. So I will create different folders for different types of data format, right? So let's say create one folder for text data, just for our understanding. Otherwise, it's not necessary to create different folders for different data formats. So I'm just creating, say, for PDF also. And I will create one for audio and video. If you have any questions and if you don't understand anything, please let me know in between, right? One folder, say, for images. And one folder for, say, survey data. And for, say, social networking data, social data. Right. So we have created different folders. Now we need to bring in data inside NVivo. Let's start by bringing in all our transcriptions of interviews, which I just showed to you, which was all in doc files. So I have selected this folder because I need to bring in this thing. Go to import and go to files. And I select the, I browse to the place where I have saved my data. Central project data. And all these are the interviews. Let's say I want to bring in all the things. So I can select all the files together and I can bring it inside NVivo. So what NVivo does it makes a copy of your original data and brings it inside NVivo. So even if you make any changes in your file in NVivo, the original data remains as it is. There are no changes in the original data. It's just a copy of your original data, right? And if you want to open any file, say Barbara's interview, you just need to double click on it. And it will open in this descriptive panel. So as I said, there are three different panels in this. One, this is the navigation panel. This is the list panel. Anything under any folder will be listed here. And this is the description panel. So I have opened Barbara's interview. I can open Charles' interview also. So it will open in a different tab. So you can see you can move from one tab to this second tab very easily. So you can go through, you can bring in more data and you can view in many tabs simultaneously. So quickly, I will just bring in all the data just so that I can start further analysis on this data. So let's say I bring in all my PDF files. Right, so I've brought in this. I will bring in image also. So image is also there. Let's bring in one video file. So audio and video almost same thing. So I will just bring in a video file, and this is a video file of Ken's interview. So this is the Ken's video file which you have brought in, and I will just quickly bring one Excel file also. Let's say I go to this data sets, this survey data. So I will bring it later on, maybe because it will ask many more things to do, which I'll explain later on. So now you can see how very easily I have brought in all kind of data formats. So it's a single platform all for all kind of data. Now let's start working. What we can do once we have brought in data inside NVivo, right? So what we do is, so for any qualitative research we do, right? The next step usually is we do coding. Coding is basically finding out themes in your data. So once we have different like all kind of data which we are working on, we try to bring in more themes, more patterns out of your data, right? So let's start by bringing on out themes from our data. So let's start with Barbara's interview. So when I say we do a coding, which is basically finding out themes in your data, it can be manual way of doing coding, or it can be through automatic coding also. So there are both the options available. Usually, qualitative research is more dependent on manual way of coding. So I will just show how to do manual coding. So if you are doing qualitative research right now manually, you must be highlighting through highlighters, or putting clips over there, or maybe some slips over there, that this is one theme, second theme. So it's quite tedious work to do, and it comes very cumbersome. It becomes very cumbersome later on if the data becomes huge and there are many themes which are emerging out of your data. So all this thing is very easily managed inside NVivo. Let me show you how. So let's say if you are going, so this is Barbara's interview, right? And you are going through Barbara's interview, and you see the first response of Barbara. She says, "My family moved here when I was 2 years old in 1969. My parents still live here." And you think this is something relevant to community. She's saying there's a theme which you have identified, community, and you think this is something relevant to community. Okay, first of all, creating codes or themes it can be both ways. You may have a certain set of themes already in your mind, and you already created the themes, and you put in data later on. And you can also create themes on the go. So say you are going through your data, and suddenly a theme comes to your mind, you can create that way also. So let me show you how to create themes on the go. So this is Barbara's interview. So you think this first line is relevant to community. So what you need to do is just need to edit it first. So you click on edit, and then you can select this part, right? So this thing they live in Gloucester, say. So you think this is relevant to community, you just right click on it, and you see code selection, and you say record.
So Navinda, please feel free to ask any questions from Saurav.
Okay. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please let me know. So this is how we code data. So you can see that I have coded this part of the interview into community code. So basically, this is a theme community. So if you want to see it, you can just double click on it. It will show you the data which you have just coded. So it shows that the data is coming from Barbara's interview, and it is 0.98% of the total interview. This part of the total theme is 9.98% of the total interview. And so now can you see that this you have created one theme. Let's say you go to Barbara's interview once more, and in the first paragraph itself, she's saying about her education. She said where did she study, and then she moved over to college, right? She went to this school, and then she moved over to college. So let's say you want to put in this into a new theme, and by the name of, say, education, right? So this is one more theme which you have created. So you can see one more theme has been created. So you can see that this also shows from where this data is coming. This is 0.84% of the total interview, and this is education theme. So this is how you create new themes. So another way of doing is like, this is one way of doing. Let's say you go down below the interview, and she's saying something that I am definitely not considered a local, even though I feel kind of a little like a local. So you think this is again relevant to community, this thing again, right? So what you can do is just select this part of the interview and drag and drop to community. So quite easy to do, right? Just drag and drop to community. So now you can see community has one file because the data is coming from only one file, that is Barbara's interview, but there are two references in it, right? So if you see it will show you two references now. So one reference is this one, second reference is. So this way you can keep on adding different data from different sources, not only from Barbara's interview, from and other interviews also, other literatures also, other articles also, anywhere. So you can keep on adding data to these themes. You can create more themes. Let's say how I want to create more themes. So let's say I enjoy the weather, it's so nice and mild, I like hot summers. Let's say you want to create a new theme by the name of, say, environment or something, or weather. It's just a weather, just for example. What you can do is you can drag and drop to blank space also, right? So it will understand that it's a new node which you want to create, new code you want to create. So just name it as weather. Okay. So this way you can keep on creating many themes. So this is how you work in a Word file, right? So we'll just quickly move towards the PDF file. I'm just showing the manual way of doing coding right now. So just for PDF file, let's say this is one of the PDF file. So when we talk about PDF file, it consists of images, tables, and text also. So any text which is available in the PDF file can be coded the same way as we did for a doc file. Just need to select and drag and drop, or maybe create a new node by right clicking on it, so that you can do this thing, right? So other option is there are tables and images also. So then select the region of that PDF. So right now, if you can see on the top, text is highlighted, text is selected. So need to select the region. If you select this, need to select the picture of this. So let's say I select this specific part of the PDF, and I can drag and drop to a new node on the blank space, and it will ask what theme you want to create. Let's say I want to create a theme of fauna, right? So fauna or something. So new has been created, right? And if you want to click see and what it shows, so it will show you that this is coming from a PDF file, and this is 0.28 of the total coverage, and it's not showing any text. That means there's no text available which you have coded. So it's a PDF file. You go to tab this, so you can see in the file the region which you have selected is highlighted, other is all gray. So this way, it's a very good way of creating themes manually, very easily you can do, and this is how you do it in NVivo. I will just now go to a text image file also. So this is one of the images we have. There are different ways of coding your data in image, right? So let's say you want to code, you want to keep a separate this part of your image separately in a different theme. So you can just drag and drop as we did for a PDF and create a theme in this, right? So that's the same way as we did for a PDF file. Other way is you can write text in front of your image just for a so that the software understands what is being represented in an image. Software does not understand any image, but you can always convert it into a text. Then the software will understand. So I can just say select this part, right? This part of the image, and option, right click on it, and then there's the option of insert row. So once you insert row, it will show you the region which you have selected. These are all the pixel numbers. So it shows this is the region which you have selected, and then you can write, say, fishing boats. Just for fishing boats. You can this way. This is also a type of coding which you're doing for images. Same way you can select a different part. Say you want to this one, right? Just for example, you can insert one more row, and say you can put in houseboats. So this way you can like explain, put in text representation of your images, right? And anything which you write in front of this thing, you can always put into themes also. You can just select this thing and put it into, say, a theme which you want to do. The themes are all the codes you can drag and drop and put into community. So this is how you treat an image in NVivo. Quickly, I will show you the video file, then I will move to the auto coding just to explain how auto coding does, how software will help you in identifying themes. So when we open a video file, any for NVivo, first of all understands it will not stop you from playing any format. It actually plays all kind of video formats. So this is a video file of Ken's interview. So what you can do in this thing is, let's just move the waveforms. So again, as we did for image, we can select a certain part of image and drag, put it into the code or theme. We can do the same way. So let's say you are into, say, Ken from 10 to 20 seconds is saying something about community. You think this is pertinent to community, right? So what you can do is you select this part of the video file, and the code is, these are the codes which you have created. These are themes which you have created. You can drag and drop to community. So just for example, because as a researcher, you listen to the video and think this is something which, where Ken is saying something which is relevant to community. So this has been coded to community. So if you go there, it will show you that this file is coming from audio and video Ken, right? And so there's no text. It doesn't show any text. It shows the timeline from 9.9 minutes to 20.1 minutes. It's showing that this is the length of that video file. And if you go to video, it will show you the file, the part which you have selected as for community. And if you play it, it will only play from 10 to 20 seconds, right? Only play from 10 to 20 seconds. So this is one way of doing coding for NVivo file. Another way is the manual transcription of your video file. So how you can do it? So this is the reminder which I was saying, which will come after 50 minutes if you want to save the project. So this is so I was talking about this manual transcription. So for that you need to go to the, just a minute, this transcribe mode. So once you select this transcribe mode, and once the transcribe mode is selected, once you play the video, you can see it will show you the time span from where it has started, right? And you can listen to, say, 10 seconds, and then you can stop the video, right? And then you can write whatever. So what, say you can write verbatim what Ken is saying, say just saying that he is saying about community, just for example. Right? So this way you have transcribed or maybe put in your thoughts in front of the video. Once again you start, it will show you the next timeline, and then by mistake I've stopped. So again you can write, then again you can play, and then again you stop, right? So this way you can keep on doing that. So this is basically a very manual way of transcribing, and anything which you write can be coded again. So you can put this text into a themes also, just by dragging and dropping or creating new codes from here. So right now you can see it's only showing time span and content. If you go to project settings, you can add more columns to it. You can add, like, just for example, you can add more columns like body language of the person, maybe the attitude of the person, right? So all these things you can write. As a researcher, there are many things which are being observed, which are not said by the person, but as a researcher you observe. So you can put in more observations if you want to in a video file, right? So that it gives more sense to you while you are analyzing your data. So this is how we do transcription, manual transcription in NVivo. Though there is a feature in NVivo, which is a paid service of NVivo, which can be used for automatic transcription. So say this is your Ken's file. So you can right click on it, and if you go down below, just a minute. So if you go down below, this is the option of transcription, right? So this option is like this. There's a portal. You need to sign up in NVivo portal, and the video or audio file will be uploaded in that portal, and then they will transcribe it for you. So they charge it for some for the transcription, but so they claim that they do it for 90% accuracy, and this is a very time-saving process because say you have a 1-hour video, they will transcribe it in 30 minutes for you. Right? So that's a quite fast
Can you please?
transcription. Any questions here? Hello?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
I'm Renuka.
Hi,
Now,
Renuka.
in this auto transcription mode, actually, is it inbuilt in this particular version, or do we have to purchase it separately?
Okay, so this is not a feature which is inbuilt in NVivo software. Uh, there's this engine which works behind transcription. So you need to upload your audio to or a video file to the NVivo portal, right? So this is the online process, and they charge it for you. So they charge it, say, for you can purchase 300 hours of transcription services from them, and then as you go on transcribing, that 300 hours, your hours keeps on getting consumed. So it's a paid feature, paid service of NVivo, I must say.
So it depends on the number of transcriptions you do. Is it like,
Yes,
so
yes,
is that the basis that you'll be charged?
yes, yes, yes.
All right. So how about the accuracy? Can we rely on those transcriptions?
Yes.
Because is it now, how many languages are actually
Okay.
supported in this particular add-on?
Yes. So there are 28 languages which it supports. I can show you the list of those languages, and what they claim is that it is 90 to 95% accurate. I have also tried myself, and that was a FGD where three persons were speaking. So it very efficiently recognized that there are three persons. It automatically put in speaker one, speaker two, speaker three, and yes, the transcription was good enough. Though because every person has a different accent, mostly in India, so sometimes it may not work for every word, but definitely for 95% accuracy is already there, which they claim. So that is true. Let me show you the languages which it supports. Just a minute.
Okay.
I put it in Word file. So these are the languages, mostly international languages: Bulgarian, Catalan, Croatian, China, Danish, Dutch, English, different English, English, Australian, English, British, English, global, Finnish, even Hindi it supports. For India, it's a good thing. So they support Hindi also. So these are the languages it supports for automatic transcription now. So mostly researchers are working in English. So definitely it will come handy if you want to use the transcription service. What languages you are using, Renuka, for
Yeah,
your?
mostly using actually English, mostly using, because although we conduct our interviews in Sinhala,
Right.
finally we translate them into English actually. So in that case, it will be all right. But the only issue is actually accuracy, because I personally know that anyway I have to go through all these transcriptions that I get transcribed from this particular,
Right.
this particular application.
Yes.
Because anyway, being like qualitative research, like you have to be very familiar with your own data.
Right.
So
Right.
when you do it manually, actually, I think it's much more accurate, because I have seen, like, it's just like, Google Translator. So sometimes it is doing right for you. Some other times actually it is not correct. So in that case,
Right.
although you got it transcribed from that particular application, you may
Yes.
have to go through again through the entire document to see whether it had exactly been done actually.
I agree. I definitely agree with you, Renuka. What I will suggest you is, uh, I will suggest you download the trial version of NVivo, which is for 14 days. And when you download the trial version, they also give 15 minutes of transcription free of cost. So
No,
you can.
actually, no, I have done this before. That's what, yeah,
So
yeah,
how,
I already have
how,
done this.
how
Yes.
did you find it, the transcription service?
It's because actually now I have this, one of my friend is using this particular software. I don't have this latest version with me,
Okay.
but I have been using NVIDIA for quite a while. That's why I asked this question.
So you're already using. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Great.
already using, yes.
That's fine. Okay. So then I will then move forward towards autocoding. So this is a feature which is used for, say, if you don't want to directly jump into finding themes or by yourself, you can ask the software to identify themes according to the word frequency. Though I will not suggest you to fully bank on these themes. This is just the basic themes, and you need to refine themselves later on. But I'll just show you how it works. So let's say I select all my interview transcripts. I can right click on it, and there's the option of auto code. So once I click on auto code, the auto code wizard comes up, and these are the options available for auto coding. So first is identify themes. So it will identify themes according to the as per the word frequency. There's a algorithm which works behind it, and so but it basically depends on word frequency. identify sentiments. So as I said, it understands 7 languages. So it will identify if your language of use is one of those 7 languages, it will identify sentiment for you, positive, negative, and neutral sentiments. Speaker name is more like for if you have a structured questionnaire wherein you have put in headings, heading 1, heading 2, you can use that heading, this feature to segregate your data. So say you have standard questionnaire for 100 respondents with question 1, question 2, question 3, question up till question 10, say. So you can ask the software to segregate your data. So every response for question 1 for all those 100 respondents will come separately. Every response for question 2 for the all the 100 respondents will be come separately. So that then you can use the speaker name option. Right. Sorry, for that use the style or structure option. Speaker name is for say if you're three or four speakers speaking, you can all the responses can be segregated according to the speaker name, and use existing coding patterns. So this is more for training your software. So what you can do is say you have different files, so you can do manual coding for say 10% of your data, and then you can ask the software to replicate the same coding process, same type of coding for the 90% of data automatically. So it will do that using this feature, use existing coding patterns. So I will just show you identify themes. So I'm clicking next. So it will start identifying themes for you. So these are the themes which is identified. So all these are major themes. All these have sub themes under it. It also shows the number of mentions for each of these themes. So you can see which themes you are interested in. You can uncheck the themes which you are not interested in to save them. And I'm keeping all the themes right now. You can click next. So I want to code sentences, not paragraphs. I click next, and so it will be saved under codes, and I finish it. So these are the certain visualizations which come automatically once you run autocoding. So this is a hierarchy map which comes with all the major sub themes and sub themes under it. The bigger the rectangle, that means it has got that many more references. Right, fishing, development, all these things. If you are interested in a specific theme, say fishing, you can click on fishing, and it will show only that. So these are the sub themes under it, right? And all the charts and all the maps which come inside NVivo can be exported directly by right clicking on it. So you can export this. You can even copy and paste wherever you want to. Right. And then this is a type of a crosstab where it shows for each of the interviews how many mentions are there for each of these themes, right? So you can see fishing has got the most number of themes for this thing. Thomas is not even talking about fishing. So there's 0 mentions of fishing in Thomas interview. Right. So if you want to see a certain, say, Margaret, what she's talking about, because she's talking, there are 7 mentions of fishing. You can just double click on this cell. It will go directly to those references, right, on Margaret's interview. All the 7 references wherever she's talking about fishing. Right. So this is about the identifying themes. I can just run the same thing for sentiments also. So I want to identify sentiments. Say code sentences only and finish. Sorry, it did for Dorothy only. Just a minute. So now it's showing for all the data. So you can see very negative mentions, moderately negative, moderately positive, showing the number of mentions for each kind of sentiment. And same kind of hierarchical map is already also available for this thing. So you can see most of these persons are mostly neutral, but you can see who is more negative, more positive, and all these codes are saved under this thing. Under sentiment, you can see that has been saved, positive and negative, right? So all the positives are saved here. Again, they have two more under subcodes under it, like very positive and moderately positive, negative also. If you want to see the mentions, you can just double click on it. Say for very positive you want to see, right? So you can see this way. So this is all where they're saying something positive things. So you can see that beautiful environment, beautiful landscape. So it understands quite good, but quite well. It understands the languages, and it segregates quite efficiently according to sentiments, right? So outstanding source water. So this is something which again positive. So this is about sentiments. I will not go more into according to the speaker name and all these things, but that again works if you have structured questionnaire, and if you have 4 different speakers, then you can use those features also. Right? So I will now directly move towards different queries which are available inside NVivo, which can be used for exploring your data further, right? So these are the queries which are available. So one is text search query, word frequency query, matrix coding queries. Other queries are coding query, coding comparison query. So I will just show you I will try to show you start with the basic queries which are available. First basic query is the word frequency query. So as the name suggests, it will find out the most frequent words for you in your data. So I'll just select the items that I need to run this query. So I just read it for all the interviews, and I want to find out say 50 most frequent words, and with minimum length of 4, so that like all my words like is and are doesn't come into the search. I don't want those words, so I just kept the length of words 4, and if I run this query, I will get the results for this query, right? So it shows all the words which are used most of the times in our data with minimum length of 4. So you can see that starts with these, people, think, like, right? So all these things are there, and it will shows the count of those words, right? And if you can see, this is the summary. It also shows the word cloud also, right? So these are used now like in many public. The word cloud is published everywhere, so many people use these things. So it's quite good to look at. To show you. So this is the word cloud. The bigger the word, more frequent it is. So I can change the design, the different styles of word cloud. So let's say I change it to this style. So as I said, anything with any charts, any clouds, again can be copied and exported outside NVivo. And then this is a tree map. So again, same concept as word cloud. Bigger the rectangle, more frequent that word is coming. And then there's the cluster analysis also available. So if you can see closely, this is like all the words which are coming together most of the times in your data are clustered together in cluster analysis. This again can be copied further, right? So, and if you are not say interested in any specific word you don't want into the search, you can always add that word into a stop list also. So you are not interested in Henry, right? So this word you don't want. So you can just right click on it and add to stop words list. So next time when you run this query, Henry will not come. Okay. So I've added this add to stop words list and I run this query. And moreover, you can see there is a slider available also. This is a grouping slider. Right now, it's only showing exact matches. You can change the slider to say with stem words. So it will look for stem words also. Like if the word is talk, it will look for word talking also. It's a stem word. To talk is a stem word of talk. So let's say I change it to synonyms. So right now, if I run this query with synonyms as slider on synonyms, so you can see the results will change now, right? Because it is grouping these words together. Similar words are being grouped together. Running slow. Yeah. So you can see that words have been grouped together. So think is the most frequent word because it's clubbed or grouped together these words, right? So you can see there. So say now this can be used a type of automation also. Say you are interested in what people are thinking, how in what reference the people are using word think or the same meaning words. So what you can do is you can right click on it and create this as a code. So I just say I want to make a new code by the name of think. So a new theme has been created by the name of think, right? So all the codes are there. So if you go to think, you can see that it has 8 files because we have put in all the interview files there, and it's got 147 references, 147 references. So wherever the data, a word think or the same meaning word has been used, has been automatically put in this. So by creating a code, we have put in all the data there. So all the so you can see wherever the think or the same meaning word has been used, you have put in the data directly there. Right? You can always change the coding context. So say you want to see a bigger, more about this specific, let's say I want to see what Charles is saying about this thing. So you want to see more data behind it. You can just right click on it and coding context, and you can just make it broad. So it will show you the whole paragraph there. So now it's showing the whole paragraph. So you can use this feature to further analyze your data. So this is one of the query. Let's go to the next query, which is the text search query. So this is used for looking for any specific keyword you have or a phrase you have want to search for. So I will look for a word fish. This most of the times people are talking about fishing in this data because it is relevant to environmental changes and fishing. So I just look for word fish, and so here also you can see first of all you can select the items where we will run this query. Say I run it under all the interviews, and so slider is available. You can either look for exact word fish, or you can also look for say specializations of fish. I will change the specializations. So whatever you want to do, if you want to your search to be more broad, you can change it to specialization, generals, or synonyms. Or if you want to look specifically for fish, then use exact matches. So just put in specializations. So now you can see it has, this is a summary. So it has found these many number of references in each of the interviews. These are the references. Go to the references tab here. Right. So though we have searched for fish, it's looking for fishing also, commercial fishing, angle also, commercial fishing, shrimp also. So shrimp is maybe same thing as same category as fish. So because we have put in the slider to specializations. So this is what we do. So in the text search option, then there's option of this word tree also. So I'll just make it bigger for you to just see. So you can undock the screen also just for better viewing. So you can see here this is a word tree which comes automatically when you run a text search query, right? So though we had looked for word fish, fishing is coming because this is the most like what was the most commonly form of fish we use. Fishing was used mostly. So fishing is the root word which they have taken. You can change the root word if you want to, right? So let's say you want to change the root word, you can change it to fish also if you want to say, right? Anything. So I'm just keeping fishing here. So what it shows is 5 words which are coming before fishing and 5 words which are coming after fishing, right? So just to understand your data, how the say if you're looking for a specific keyword or phrase, so you can see how in what context the people are using. So you can change the number of words more. So let's right now it's only showing 5. You can make it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see that you can keep on increasing the number of words, right? So say if you want to see the specific line, so this is going here to this here. So this is the whole sentence, right? From here to here. And there are also operators available. You can use and or not operators also. Even you can look for words. Say you want to look 2 words, but they should come in vicinity of 10 words also. So there are syntaxes available for this thing. So you can use all these different uh, operators to better understand your data. And again, it can be copy pasted, right? Anywhere. There are many other options like other queries available. I will not go into directly this in that or now, but I'll just show you the basic highlights now. The other thing is how to import data from social networking data, right? So let me just go to a Twitter page. So you can directly import direct data from here. So can you just let me know any hashtag you're interested in? So you need to run a hashtag on a specific page. So can you just give me any hashtag which you are interested in, and I will just put it here. You can give me in the chat also if you want to. No? Okay. Let me put in something. So,
Saurav, there is one suggestion. Mr. Mohammed is asked to put hashtag Sri Lanka.
which one?
Just see the chat box.
Okay, just a minute. This chat box is here. Not opening chat box.
Sri Lanka.
Okay, Sri Lanka, just Sri Lanka. Huh? Okay.
Mm.
Okay, this one, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the hashtag for Sri Lanka which we have run on NVivo. So whenever you install NVivo, by default, this application NCapture gets installed on your browsers, right? So you can. This is used for capturing your data from different websites, from social networking sites like Twitter, Facebook. So I will use this thing, and I'll just right click on it, and so we will capture tweets as data set, right? And we can directly code to nodes also from here. If you want to put in this data directly to a certain theme, you can put it there. So we are not creating any theme out of it right now. We're just capturing it. So let's start capturing it. And so okay. So need to authorize it once, just once. That will start capturing. So you can see that it shows the number of tweets being captured. So you can keep on like let it remain there and keep on capturing as many tweets you want, but we'll stop it right now just to show you. So let's say we keep it around the series maybe. So 1800 tweets has been captured, right? So what you need to do is you need to bring in this data inside NVivo. So we have already created for social data. So I will bring in this folder, go to import the same process and go to NCapture, right? And we go to NCapture. Okay, you can see that we can also import data from other bibliographical software directly from here, right? So if you are working on any of these softwares, you can just export data from those softwares, save it somewhere, and bring it inside NVivo using this importing feature. Now we are importing from say NCapture, and just a minute, I think this is a problem. It stopped working. I don't know why. Just give me a minute. Huh? I'll just check. I'll just close my NVivo. I think there's some problem coming. Just close it and restart once more here. चलिए तो शो करता है यार. It's not showing. I don't know why. So this works. Sorry, yeah, I got it now. Now it's showing now. So import. So this is the Twitter data. So if we click on this, it will show you the Tableau format, what all is captured using Twitter. So this is the information which is captured using Twitter from Twitter data. It's tweet ID, the username of the person, what the person is actually tweeting, right? So this is in Singhai language if I'm correct. So you can so it will not understand this thing, but you can always anything which is in under tweet columns, you can always code it further. You can put it to themes or anywhere, which we did for interview data and other things. So it also finds whether it also tells whether it's a tweet or retweet, who retweeted it, how many retweets it has, hashtags, mentions, even the location it shows, right? So it captures all these things. So if you want to see in the format, so it will show you for each of these persons. So for each of the person shows number one. For retweet it shows. So you can go on seeing if you want to see this way. Then there's a chart visualization also. So you can see here it shows so and the x-axis are the usernames and the y-axis we have the number of references for each of these usernames, right? So you can see that first person Nalakag has got the most number of references, right? Sri Lanka tweet is the second, and this way you can see. So you can also select the data from here. Right now on x-axis usernames, y-axis number of references. You can also see who has got the most number of followers, and this way you can see, right? So again, the Hindu has got the most number of followers here, right? You can see here, right? So almost touching 60 lakh, 63 lakh followers. And then there's a cluster analysis, which we showed for in the word frequency query also. So it is clustering all the Twitter users which are in this hashtag according to the word similarity. If they are using the same kind of words, or maybe they are talking about the same kind of thing, they are clustered together. You can see here, right? And then other visualization is the maps. So you can see from which part of the world the tweets are coming, right? So if you want to see, you can drill down further. So though most of are coming from Sri Lanka, right? So you can drill down further and you can see 659 tweets are coming from this part only, Tambula area, right? So if you want to see what all these tweets are, so you can double click on it. It will show you all these major 659 tweets are listed here, right? So you can see here, okay. And then there's a Twitter sociogram also. This is which shows the flow of information, or are there any groups formed. So it's a visualization of the groups which are formed during the retweeting process or tweeting process. So it takes some time to load. Just give me a minute. So this is the, as you can see, this all the here you can see. I'll just make it bigger just a minute. And I got to undock it. Right, so you can see like all the clusters which are formed. So this is something they are talking between among themselves, but there is separate groups which have been formed. So these are talking among themselves also, and these are all separate entities, right? So they are not even connected to anyone. So you can just see the information, and all these lines which are connecting them are the tweets and retweets, right? You can see this is a separate group altogether. So this is a sociogram, and also all your data which you have brought in under in like Twitter data or any Facebook post or any YouTube comments also, if you want to bring in for any video, you can run auto coding, you can run sentiment analysis, all the things which we did for interview, you can run on these things also. So you can, if you have brought in Twitter data, you can let's see how many are saying have positive sentiments, how many have negative sentiments. So all these things can be done. So this is all about the demonstration part of NVivo. So we have more things like, but much more. So Ms. Renuka is already using NVivo. She must be knowing about cases also. So you can create cases, which is basically a unit of measurement in NVivo. Cases can be your people, your organization, and you can classify them further according to their demographics, their gender, all these things. So this is very helpful while running different queries and better understanding your data. You can also if you go to queries, there's a coding comparison query also. Say if 2 or 3 searches are working on same data and they're doing coding on the same data, you can compare their coding also. You can see whether they are in agreement or not in agreement. So all these options are available, and you were just to see whether the coding which one person is doing is same or not in agreement with the other searcher. So all these options are available, and many more queries are available. So
Saurabh, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Now, since in the case of the example we took, since we have different languages, auto coding probably will be limited only to English language, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because it doesn't, as I said, it only understands 7 languages, so it will not understand your language. It doesn't even
understood.
Hindi also. Yeah.
Sure.
Any more questions, sir?
No, I'm okay done.
Rivti, if you can ask if you have any questions in the chat.
Yeah, there is no question in the chat box.
Okay.
You're over with the training, Saurav, now?
Yeah,
Are you going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saurav,
Yes.
I think we have Dr. Renuka.
Okay.
I think some of us are a bit familiar with NVivo. I think so. I think they should be okay.